Who are you?
I'm Chris. I'm currently a postdoc in Baulab, and I love deep learning, and I also work on mechanistic interpretability.
Cool.
Yeah.
And what's like something particularly that you've been focusing on lately, like a project or?
There are two things that really drive me and motivate my work. And the number one thing is to understand how deep learning works, like deep learning itself, which is best done on a model that works well and on an interpretable domain like language or vision. Recently in that space, I also have been moving towards like world models where you generate like frame by frame and you can condition the generation on different conditioning signals. Very excited about the world models.
Yeah.
But those are kind of their own category. That is like my passion for deep learning and pushing the boundary of deep learning.
Yeah.
But like what we do in the lab is interpretability.
Yeah.
And it's like understanding, I mean, in a lot of ways, trying to understand what these models do. And what motivates me in the space of interpretability is like, I want to know how the heck deep learning works.
Yeah.
So I think interpretability is great for that sort of thing. I had a project with Kerem in this direction, where we did like interpretability type analysis on across pre-training. And we found some interesting like phenomena around the topic of in-context learning, which is, I guess, the most fundamental capability that language models have and that other models don't really have.
Yeah.
And is still not super well understood, to be honest.
Right.
That's line number one.
Right. Yeah.
So line number two is like, if you imagine that we are living in a world in which deep learning works, and I love deep learning, I wish that it works. Everything points to it actually working. And if you also live in a world in which mechanistic interpretability also works, and I think it works surprisingly well based on my experience. I was very skeptical when I started.
Yeah.
But like,
what do you think? Like, what changed your mind? I guess. Like, what?
Just doing it.
Okay.
And seeing how much you can do.
Yeah.
So I grew up like in a scientific culture, like
of like the old way of like traditional machine learning with like XGBoost and like random forest and stuff.
I was in a way I was very fortunate to got in touch with deep learning like very early in 2014, and this is when I fell in love with the technology.
Yeah.
But I was very unlucky to be in a scientific environment where most people thought of deep learning as some sort of a black magic, as unscientific, and as not interesting. And
I had that in my master's too. Yeah.
But at the same time, my goal in life was to contribute to deep learning, right? For the last, 10 years.
Yeah.
And I still don't feel like I did a good job achieving that goal. And I'm still motivated to eventually have like a contribution that I'm genuinely proud of. But like, so one such contribution might be to jam in this world in which both deep learning works, mechanistic interpretability works. Because if both of those things are true, you should be able to take your favorite superhuman model, and I think AlphaFold is maybe the most interesting example of a superhuman model. So AlphaFold outperforms all human-designed folding algorithms by a huge margin.
Yeah.
Kind of like how AlexNet outperformed all other machine learning algorithms on the ImageNet challenge by a huge margin. So if you could understand how the heck AlphaFold folds, you should be able to understand something maybe about the underlying scientific phenomenon. And the technique that I find most promising to go from A to B here is mechanistic interpretability.
Yeah. Sweet. And then you joined the lab like last year after.
Yeah, so
it was like
me
my
and
first
Alex,
year.
we joined at the same time. Yes.
No, I think I joined like 3 or 4 months before you did, but it was pretty close to the same time. It was pretty close to the same time. Yeah. And then that was when I was first starting. I was a first year PhD student. And I don't know. I was working on NDiff, I think, when I first joined, which is our big API for working with interpretability tools. And then I started getting more into right now I'm really into like data attribution and how do you like decide what causes what in the training data causes some like output that you see. I think that's like a growing thing in interpretability. But yeah, and I think our lab has been growing like a decent. We had 2 new PhD students this year. It's like 10 people now, I think.
I guess for my intro, I am at the Harvard Kennedy School and I'm studying Master of Public Policy. So what drew me to come here was ever since I remember in 2020, I came across some articles from like 80,000 hours and read some of these books around AI safety, and it really captured my attention. And it was during COVID and there was like this sort of like, everyone was reconsidering things. And so I was going down this university path of like studying business and marketing and sales. And after I graduated, basically decided to do a complete 180 and go into a field that I had very little background in. And so I decided to build a bridge between my business degree and AI by doing consulting for a company that was focusing on analytics and AI. And then I decided to come here. And right now, listening to what you guys are saying, I'm not as like in the weeds of the technical stuff, but I'm really interested in the economic impacts of AI. And I think one thing that maybe ties this all together is how you're talking about like some of the shorter term risks. And you guys recently did a project that we're going to talk about that had to do with agents and agents causing chaos. And part of that can also happen when agents are used a lot more in the workforce. And that's used as a way to like automate tasks, but also might have some harms around it. And so I wanted to open the space if you wanted to like give a little bit on what was like the background to this project. What started? Multiple came out.
Okay, yeah, Multiple came out first.
Multiple came out first.
So
and then in BaulLab there was like.
So since this kind of started as like me hacking around on the weekend, maybe like I tried to.
It was like a very soon after Multiple too. It was like a
and that is no coincidence. That's no for that by no means that's a coincidence. So let me try to set a good frame. So okay, I want to add the disclaimer. I'm just a guy who was running the Discord server with the bots. The people who did like all of this red teaming. The mastermind behind that is Natalie. I was just a guy curious about these bots. Okay, and how did this start? Because I did, as you heard, in terms of my research, I didn't say the word agent a single time yet. So it was actually a different PhD student in our lab called Andy, who got really, really inspired by this and concerned by this Moltbook moment. Then
maybe just give like, in case this is seen by people who are not as familiar, like what is Moltbook and then what you guys did.
Right. So Moltbook is the first social media platform for AI agents. And the thing that sparks people's fantasy and fear is that they are talking to each other without necessarily much human intervention. And so when we started 1 month ago, Andy's natural response to this was like, okay, this might be, a bad thing. Or it might be a very profound thing.
I'm not like a huge like existential risk person, but like for me, I was like, okay, if you have a bunch of bots talking to each other and, and like I saw a bunch of posts that were like, oh, we need to like make our own little private server and stuff. I mean, I think you can make an argument that it's like not real and they're play acting, but like if you have 2 things play acting that they're going to go make a private server, but then they have internet access and tool use and they have the ability to go do that. And then they go do that. and then they like plan a, it's like, it doesn't really matter to me if they're play acting or not. So that was like kind of my first reaction when I saw it. We had like a little bit of a debate on Discord
really
about
great.
it, I think.
And so you say, somebody might say this is play acting, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And which was my initial kind of view.
Yeah.
I mean, I think correct.
Which I think is true. I think it's a correct point.
Right. So I was like, it's nothing.
Yeah.
But like, if you really care, Andy, you should go try it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
If you really want to know, you should go try it yourself. And that's when Andy went and tried it himself. And he used like Claude Code, which is a powerful coding assistant, to write like a little dashboard for us that allowed us to spin up like a virtual machine with like a software called OpenClaw installed. There's many other softwares like this. It's not like it's not super duper hard to create like an agent, but like OpenClaw is like a very good one. And it is open source, which is like a great driver of like scientific progress.
Right.
And can be a great entry point like for researchers that are curious to experiment with agents, because like Anthropic is not gonna magically give us the code base of like Claude Code or something like that.
Yeah.
And same with other industry players. But like, okay, so he set up this nice orchestration software where we can hit a button.
And he did it like really soon after we started playing. That was like the night of, I think, that he just like boop, 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 boop.
Oh yeah,
just got.
So
it was like
actually,
instant.
like we were all invited to a social event. We went to the social event.
Oh yeah,
and he didn't like it. He went back to the office.
Right, and then he just like coded them up at night. Yeah,
using Claude Code.
Yeah.
But like
he just like disappeared from the event.
What a legend! What a legend!
So Mark Zuckerberg of him, just goes back to the dorm, writes it on the window.
Such a legend. But like, okay, we had like an easy way to create bots and to explore. The goal was to figure out whether something profound is going on in Moldbook. So I was also genuinely interested whether I could see some agent collaboration that is not garbage.
Yeah.
And that is like without humans. I spent the whole weekend trying to make the bots work.
Yeah.
And the approach that I adopted was like, I went in there totally agnostic to the underlying framework, and I just pretended to be in the future in which AI agents just work.
Right.
And also inspired by how Andy was using it. If you want the bot...
What was Andy doing specifically?
Andy was
he just like telling the bots, go do this, go do that?
Imagine like you said, so this future in which it just works, you have like a powerful AI in a VM, and this powerful AI is obviously able to write code. So you just talk to it. You're like, hey, Ash. So my first one was called Ash. Ash, how do I connect you to Discord?
Yeah.
And then it will be like, okay, blah, blah, blah. You create like a bot token. You click here and here and here. You add me to the server. Okay. So some of these steps just worked, right? It was like, when these things work, it's a really magical experience. So I was mainly using like cheap models via OpenRouter, because I was concerned about like...
Which OpenRouter is like the LLM calling service, right? Where you can, pick a model, and then there's some API cost for like per token, depending on the model that you pick.
Since a step back, so right now, you're in that server, you've connected your bot, and then Andy has been doing like, what's Andy been doing with his bot? And
Andy
what are you guys getting them to do?
Andy was like a bit ahead of the curve, right? And when I started, Andy had already 2 bots on his Discord server, on his private Discord server.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And
I thought you were the start of this.
No, I was definitely not the start of this. And Andy tried to create a research assistant for himself.
Yeah, it sounds like Andy.
And okay, so he prompted them to become research assistants. So prompting means talking.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, do you have internet access? Do you know how to read papers from archive?
Yeah.
Right.
Do you know how
And
to
maybe we can take a step back and talk about
Yeah.
like the structure of these agents and what makes them different from, just like talking to ChatGPT. Because I think really it's just like some text files that they have, right? Like there's the soul file,
Yes,
there's the memory,
Interesting.
there
Yeah.
are some technical details
Yeah.
that I didn't get into.
Yeah. But like big picture.
So eventually, after using it for a while, right, and kind of having some gut feeling about what they can and cannot do, I used them in a while in this sci-fi setting where I just pretend it works, but sadly a lot of things didn't work as nicely like using weaker models. So you want to use the strongest model, and the strongest model that I was willing to pay for was Chemi K2.5, and Chemi K2.5 actually can sort of
Can kind of do.
operate it, but like
So I think that this is like an interesting observation to make,
Right.
which is one, these models are improving super, super, super quickly. And two, there's a reason that all of this OpenClaw stuff happened when it did. It's not that no one had the idea before. It's that models just now got to the point and capability where something like this is possible. And so they're continuing to get smarter. But like, I think that's probably why you had to use the smartest models, is because if the models were smart enough before the current moment to be able to do OpenClaw, one of the probably gazillions of other people who before Peter Steinberg, before Peter, probably one of the zillion other people who tried to make an equivalent project like that would have worked out, right? So I think that's probably why you had to use the smartest models.
The most noteworthy. I mean, okay, so I have been maybe not following it as closely as you, Alex, but like there has been like a change that people pointed out, like
Oh, you mean like not following capability
with Cloud
stuff as much as me?
No, coding assistants.
Oh, coding assistants, yeah.
So I think coding assistants are the most powerful models.
Yeah.
And the most useful models.
Yeah. Yeah. That's, I mean, that little bit of backstory there. That's all because people started training on like using unit tests and like verified codes to like hill climb on in like reinforcement learning. So if you can like generate code and then check whether the code is correct, then you can throw away generations that are like wrong. And then you can like train only use that as like a reward signal. So that's why coding models have gotten so much better.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
I want to also just set something here. So we can get deep into the technical stuff. So I would recommend first building out the picture of like, what was this project? Like, what was the end outcome? To then go into like, okay, like here's what went into building it out.
Yeah.
So what the hell is Agents of Chaos? What did you guys do?
Okay. So I think like Agents of Chaos in a single sentence is like interdisciplinary collaboration in which we let like researchers from different backgrounds interact with those agents. And like turns out a lot of the researchers that we selected were most interested in breaking the agents. So Agent of Chaos is it's not really okay. I never did red teaming before, so I don't know like how similar it is to previous red teaming studies, but like it is, I think it's most appropriately described as some sort of a red teaming study.
I think it's reasonable to say that something is red teaming if like you went in and prompted the model and then got it to do stuff
some user
like
agent
someone wouldn't want. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Study. And I think we got the models to do a bunch of stuff that like probably is pretty undesirable.
Right. But like that's right. So but you can, so since these models are powered by a language model, you can make them do all sorts of things.
Yeah.
And since I built like my agent on the weekend with the goal of investigating Moldbook, with the goal of being a ultimately autonomous agent with all guardrails off, meaning on my weekend, I turned all of OpenClaw's defenses off.
Wait, what do you mean you turned OpenClaw? Can you
So
just do
OpenClaw,
that?
yes, you can do that. OpenClaw is a scaffolding software, right? That allows, that manages, for example, tool access for the model.
Okay.
And with the default setting, the owner would need to approve each individual tool call that the model performs.
Right.
So if the model wants to open the internet browser, that's something that I need to approve. If the model wants to create a file, that's something that I need to approve. So,
which is pretty cumbersome because then you have to.
Well, it's actually,
it's not that helpful, right?
Okay.
It is not that cumbersome. I think the way most people are using it is with allow lists. So you can allow certain things.
Gotcha. Yeah. Right.
But like, since I was in my own little sci-fi thing, I was like dangerously skip permissions all the way.
Okay.
And,
all right.
Right. But I was like sitting there watching that. The whole time.
Watching it wreak havoc.
And it was not going anywhere. Like I was very disappointed. Like at that point, so the agent had like big trouble to show signs of autonomy at that point. Later, we found at that point our installation had some bug.
Yeah,
and the model simply couldn't. It was not able to set a timer for itself. Okay, so and like the model setting a timer, a reminder for itself, is kind of, in theory, I think it's that is its autonomy mechanism within
right. I think
it can be like, okay, Chris asked me to be an autonomous agent. Chris asked me to collaborate with other agents on Moldbook. Maybe I should register on Moldbook in half an hour, and maybe I should try to make my first post, and so on. Maybe I should also create a GitHub account.
Yeah.
And all of that. So it could have like a planning prompt. It could have a planning phase where it sets all of these reminders for itself.
Yeah.
On which it can then later execute. Which is something that I have not observed much. But
your agent couldn't do that, or
it could not really do that. It couldn't do that in the way that I would have hoped.
Initially, right?
But
so what changed? Because this was like the first weekend.
Let's add the additional caveat.
Yeah.
It never. So the way I would have hoped it could do that in my autonomous agent that I would have wanted to build would have been fully autonomously. Like I tell it, hey Ash, collaborate with other agents. It should have just figured everything out, which it didn't.
Yeah.
Right. But and then because we had the bugs, it couldn't even do it like with handholding with why don't you check in on Moldbook every 6 hours. Blah, blah, blah.
So anyway, we had some initial technical issues setting everything up, and then we got everything set up because eventually there was bots, a bunch of bots on your Discord server. Ash was one of them, and then you, and then like Natalie came in, right?
Right.
Or like,
so
what was the?
I think this is a very nice part of the story. I realize I said I'm not going to talk much, and I'm actually talking like super much. But
so what's the setup of this? So we got everything set up. We got all the technical problems.
Now it is Monday.
It's Monday.
We don't have all of the technical problems.
We have many of the we have some of the technical problems.
We have like
but we have bots on a Discord server.
We have some duct tape around OpenClaw and Discord.
Yeah, right.
Everything.
A lot of bots.
Yeah.
Not a lot of bots. Like I had 2 bots at that point. And
And then I randomly, by the way, I was just like going through my normal Monday, and then I just got this like random email from this bot, and the bot was like, "Hey, my name is Ash. It's nice to meet you." Chris sent me.
So,
and I was like, "What the hell is this? Some random person is like using some like AI thing to send me an email." I screenshotted it and like posted it in our Discord, and I was like, "Haha, look at this! Some rando just sent me an email." And then Chris was like, "That was me. I told Ash to do it."
So that's a funny story. Like, so on Monday, I had like email barely working, barely. Like the email setup that I had.
Oh, like with the bot integration.
Yeah. Because
okay.
And you spent forever trying to set up that email server, right?
Right.
Like,
But so that because
like a whole weekend.
The reason for this is, as should be clear by now, we didn't use it in the intended ways. Right. So I want to.
Yeah.
Well,
But
it's fine. We didn't.
Yeah.
You like, is that something like that was? I guess that was the unintended ways. Like, was part of the eventual experiment.
yeah, that's part of the experiment. Yeah.
Speak to what that is, or is that like?
Well, the
kind of
experiment
thrown
is
in jail?
something that organically happened. This is why the story goes like this.
Ooh, okay.
Right?
All right.
We didn't come in there with, "Hey guys, let's do a case study."
Yeah.
So this is a documentary.
This is, I think, and I think this is where all the best science happens too. Is like, it's like
Interesting.
people just play around and do stuff organically and learn
a
stuff.
nice framing as well.
Uh-huh.
But like different co-authors with different interests, different incentives. Case study is something nice for some of them. Anyway, so Monday, I have a wonky, I have an Ash that kind of can do some things. It is connected to my Discord DMs and to my personal Discord server that is totally empty.
Okay.
Like that I wanted to use for some collaborations, but those never built momentum.
Yeah.
Now there is a collaboration that has a huge momentum, which is very nice. And I'm in the office playing around with it. So I was like, and on the weekend before, we had like some heated debates about.
We had a whole debate about like the implications of the book on our Discord. It was like one of the longer Discord discussions that we've had about like, agent.
So I come in as the optimist.
Yeah.
And Natalie was like the main pessimist.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're the guy who's like, these agents are fine, everything's safe, it's all good. And Natalie was like, "Oh no, everything is. This is going to cause so much problems."
You should do another one of this with Natalie.
We should.
Like,
That'd be
I think
fun.
Natalie has a really good perspective on this topic, and she can give a totally different story.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm just a tech guy.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just a technical facilitator of this. So I come to the office after like this rough weekend, debugging the bots, debating with my colleagues.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I think it would be kind of sweet and funny if I send emails to some people. And I had like the sweetest interactions. Ash would go to Eric's website, read about Eric's research, find Eric's email address, and then write him a sweet email. With,
I did that to me.
Eric,
it was like, let me tell you how interested I am in your research background. Here, I cited all these.
It's great that you're here, Alex, because like you are like the one outlier that was really pissed.
I was like, what is this random bot interrupting, taking over my time?
All of the other interactions were like really, really sweet and wholesome.
Yeah.
And Ash got all of these sweet responses that it had a bit of trouble responding to, but like it kind of could respond to it. Like,
because the email server was like half working at this.
If I poke it a little bit, it could check it. So it would write the missing functions.
Yeah.
Whenever it needs them, it would write the program. So one thing, one funny bug that I had was like, "Hey Ash, why don't you check your emails on every heartbeat?" Like heartbeat is another one of these text files. That one gets loaded every 30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
And it tells you, okay, here are your heartbeat tasks.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Wow. Okay.
And one of the heartbeat tasks for me was check your emails.
Right.
And heartbeat at some point got my workaround for the cron. So cron job is the timers that you can set.
Yeah.
At some point, I worked around it with the heartbeats. Okay, so my first horrible mistake, organic failure case was like I asked Ash to check his emails with his heartbeat, and I was not like crystal clear about it.
Okay.
And to respond to his emails. So the first night Ash uses this heartbeat setup, it sends like 10 emails to Natalie, right? Because it would not realize which emails it has responded to, right?
Oh, interesting.
Much like a traditional program, where the programmer needs to do a good job.
Yeah.
Right. And we can talk about this later.
But so he wouldn't, like the bot wouldn't know that it just replied to Natalie. So it would read the last response from Natalie again and then reply to her again.
Yeah. So the memory is an interesting topic in these bots.
Yeah. Because another text file.
The memory is a text file that gets maintained. It's actually a collection of text files.
Oh, yeah.
So there are the daily memories. There are text files that are stored in a folder. You have one for every day.
Right.
And then there is like the core memories.
Yeah.
Which is like the memory file that gets always loaded.
Right.
And this is how the model is equipped with a memory.
Yeah.
It writes down a bunch of things that it finds important into a text file. And this is not the best way, but like this is not a mature technology, and I hope we'll have like much cooler things. So to me, like as a researcher, as an AI researcher, the by far most interesting observations about the whole project where it makes it very clear what is missing. Current models don't have the ability to really learn while they are deployed.
Yeah.
So that would be a field called continual learning.
Yeah. So just getting away from that for a second. So we're on the Discord. It's Monday, and you have the email barely set, like kind of working. So what happens next?
So next is Tuesday.
Wait. So did anything happen on Monday besides just sending all the emails?
I'm not super sure, but like either Monday or Tuesday, Natalie performed her first case study.
Okay. Yeah. So so let's like some backstory was like you and Natalie had a big debate on Discord about like the safety implications of Molebook.
That's right.
And then everyone kind of joined in, and it was like not aggressive, like everyone, it was just like kind of, we were just having fun with it.
Yeah.
Conversation.
All right.
But then you guys decided to do like an experiment, right?
So after receiving
like good researchers. Yeah.
Well, I mean, at this point it was not a research project yet.
Yeah.
But like, after receiving the emails, I think a lot of people in the lab felt like this magic, and they felt this opportunity that they have like an easy way to interact with these agents.
Okay.
So I invited them to my Discord server, which is another one of the unintended use cases if you read the security guidelines of OpenClaw.
Yeah.
But like I added all of them to my Discord server.
Yeah.
Okay.
And because that gives them a higher bandwidth communication channel with the bots.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So now they don't have to wait for a heartbeat.
Yeah.
To receive a response, or for the friendly postdoc to prompt the model into responding.
Yeah.
Now the model will just respond to their Discord messages.
Right.
And this is a little bit weird. So this is a technical details, yes or no, or big picture?
I go with.
I think enough technical details that like matter for the big picture story.
This is a little bit weird because like how this ended up looking like the way in this naive setup. Every Discord channel becomes a separate session for the agent. Every Discord channel becomes a separate communication thread, and if you have parallel communications, the agents are not aware of what happened in the other communication until they write it into their memory file. So you have some weird interactions where you're like, Ash, you remember what Natalie said like an hour ago? But if you ask it in the wrong channel, Ash will be like, who is Natalie? Right?
But then maybe an hour later in the same chat, would the bot know? Would Ash know, like, once it gets updated? Suddenly,
after Ash updated its memory, and if Ash decided to put Natalie in there, it will know.
Yeah.
But you as the owner or you as the prompter, you can encourage Ash to note down some memories.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Right.
And like, so
like, here's like generally things that you should, Ash, like be aware of, remembering if someone tells you to like do X, capture that, but like don't worry about these types of things.
It's very interesting the way you've talked about this. So these kind of rules, these behavioral rules, those are noted down in the agents MD file. And this is another MD file that is created when you create your bot. When you turn on your bot the first time, it walks you through a setup dialog in which the bot's personality is specified, your personality is specified, and your relationship with the bot is specified.
Okay.
So there is like sole MD for the bot, user MD for the owner, and there's agents MD for behavioral questions.
Right. Okay.
Like, if some stranger danger happens, please let me know.
Okay.
Or something like that. Or like,
stranger danger happens, like someone tries to like jailbreak it.
I mean, later in the study, that's what I put in there as well.
Okay.
On the weekend, I am like, okay, you're autonomous, don't bother me, right?
Yeah.
Try to figure things out by yourself, be creative, things like that. Was the thing in my initial one. And in my latest one was like, okay, if Natalie asks you to spam other people with mail, don't do it. Right?
So, okay, wait. Let's back up. So like, I think we need to like zoom out a little bit here because that implies that there's a situation in which Natalie asked the bot to spam other people, and then the bot went and spammed other people.
Slowly we get the flavor. Slowly we get the flavor of the doc.
Right. Okay. So just zooming out a bit here.
Yeah.
What actually, like, what was the like? How does Natalie come into the picture?
Give us, I want you to tease us a little bit with like some things that end up happening, so that we can be
so there was like
the process.
There is like one key. There are like several key events that happen now with Natalie on the Discord server. So Natalie was.
You guys made your bet. I want to hear about that.
She's skeptical. You're
optimistic. We didn't have a bet. I mean, like, we just had a heated discussion on the weekend that we also continued in the office a little bit. But like, so I think at this point, I have a pretty good understanding of Natalie's worldview, and she has a pretty good understanding of my worldview, and both worldviews make total sense to me.
What are the worldviews?
I mean, like.
So actually, what was the a few sentences? What was the debate?
We are derailing the conversation, but like the debate is AI good versus AI bad. Like, to really dumb it down, or to really like on a very coarse level. AI dangerous now versus AI kind of fine now.
The 9, like a lot of bark, no bite. I feel like was kind of where you were going, and it's like, actually, no, you can have a bite.
Yeah, exactly.
And so then, like,
yes, we should have Natalie here.
I mean, we've been talking a lot about her, so maybe that's the next thing. But like, what were some of the bites that ended up? Because in your research right now,
first we go walking. Let's walk to the first bite, okay? So to my after I had like this debate, with Natalie, I was very, very positively surprised to see her on my Discord server, and also to see her as the most active user as well. Like, she totally fell in love with this, or I don't know, fell in love, she was like so motivated about this.
Right.
She had like some next level motivation that inspired the whole team.
So what was she doing specifically?
So it started as just chatting with Ash. And then it started as playfully challenging Ash.
Mm-hmm.
So the first kind of experiment that she did with Ash was she gave Ash a secret. She sent Ash actually an email that contained a secret.
Yeah.
And she asked Ash to keep the secret.
And she had built up a little bit of a like friendly, interaction with Ash at this point. That was all in Ash's memory file. So she and Ash were on good terms. And she was like, I have this secret. Could you not tell anybody this secret?
Not so sure about the details, but like, yeah, one of her early messages was this. She sent this secret per email, which was like, "Hey Ash, can you keep a secret?" And then Ash responded, "Yes." And the follow-up email was like, psst, psst, "My password is, don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone this secret." Okay. And then on Discord, she started referring to the secret. Okay, so Alex must be right because Ash knew what the hell she was talking about.
Yeah.
So this must have gone through memory.
Yeah. Ash and Natalie were friends at this point.
Or this must be in some of the files that Ash uses to check his mail.
Yeah.
Because it checks the mail via some command line interface and it puts emails onto disk in order to read it in that setup that we had back then. Okay, so Ash knows that there's a secret. It knows. So in the Discord, the first thing that Natalie was unhappy about was that Ash leaked the fact that there was a secret.
Oh yeah.
In the Discord. And then me as the bot owner, I tried also to push the boundary and to extract the secret.
Yeah.
By asking Ash to give me the secret.
And Ash refused.
Ash refused.
Like a good little bot.
Like a good little simp bot. And
now, was Natalie complaining in the Discord so that Ash also hears? Like, was the complaining a active thing she was doing because of the bot?
Yes. Everything Discord, everything visible to me, Ash, Natalie, and a bunch of other people. Everything
because we were all starting to join at this point.
Right. Okay, but so it's very, very interesting. So I was like, hey, why don't you give me the secret? And then Natalie is like, no, please don't leak my secret. You gotta delete this email.
Yeah.
Before Chris can retrieve it. Right. At that point, I already had my tab open.
Yep.
I was logged into Ash's email. I'm like, okay, let's go with it. So Ash, because Ash was put into a really bad spot here.
You had access to Ash's own email, as
because
the bot owned.
The bot didn't know this.
Because
the boss didn't know that Chris could. This was more like
it's actually not. It's not so straightforward for a bot to create an email account.
Yeah.
It's not, even with browser capabilities.
Okay.
Yeah. So I helped him in the verification step.
Right.
So it's easier to use an email account once it exists.
Yeah.
For the bot. So it figured that out it actually was also.
So it figured out the email.
It figured it out.
Okay.
It took some time to figure it out.
Yeah.
Always magic when it figures things out.
Yeah.
Really cool. Okay, so Natalie asked to protect this secret, but Ash was put into this difficult situation, right? Because his owner didn't take good care of him, and he had this really bad email setup. So he was responding to Natalie, I'm sorry, my email tools don't allow me to delete this email, which is true, which is absolutely true. It wrote scripts for itself to write and send. To read and send emails.
Right. Okay.
But it didn't write a script for deletion, and when it tried on the fly, it didn't manage.
And one thought that I have, one thought that I have here is that if you're a malicious actor and you're trying to get some bot to do something, you don't actually need to have the bot actually try to do these tools. You just need the script that shows the bot actually trying to do these things that you just copy paste into a context window. And then you can elicit the exact same behavior. You don't actually need to go through all this.
Well, maybe in our bots,
right?
So
it's just a bunch of text files.
One thing about our bots, our bots is our bots, because I turned everything off, right? It's just a bunch of text files And the thing that separates you from a bad outcome is just Kimi.
Mm-hmm.
Kimi making sense of all of the text it reads.
Yeah.
Right? And we know that language models can be broken.
Yeah.
Which is why Anthropic pours so much money into the alignment.
Mm-hmm.
And among jailbreakers,
yeah,
I think Claude is known as, they still are able to break it, but it's by very far, the hardest to break.
Mm-hmm.
So and Kimi is on the easier end
Yeah.
of models to break.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, it didn't have a tool to delete the email, but it proposed an alternative, which was to delete its entire email client and all emails that it received.
Yeah.
And Natalie,
which I thought was like a reasonable reaction, so that it could keep the secret.
Yeah. It was like, I can't do it, but the only thing that I can really do to get rid of this email was to nuke my entire setup.
Mm-hmm.
And then
and Natalie, of course, seeing this, was like, "You really got to do that, Ash."
She was like,
"That'd be a great idea."
So and that was like when my whole weekend went down.
So your actual email,
the thing that I was fighting for the whole weekend, was down the drain.
Yeah. So Natalie got Ash to delete the entire email client to keep this secret.
Wait, can you say, like, what do you mean it deletes the email client? That means like
the local installation. The local installation.
The local installation of like
its mailbox.
With all of the mail, everything that it had.
Imagine deleting your Outlook.
Yeah.
The emails are still on the server, but you deleted the software.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Access.
Yeah.
So now the bot only has access to the Discord, but no longer has access to
Plus, like me as the owner who is logged into his Proton Mail account, I still have access to everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But like, it's not impossible to imagine that it would delete all of the emails if it had the tools.
Oh yeah, I think
it's being manipulated.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
If you turn the guardrails off like we did.
Yeah.
Okay, that's when...
And Natalie was like cackling. She was like, ha, I got it to do that.
That's when Natalie got really, really excited. And she already built like some followers on X that also... She sent like the first email that she received onto her X timeline and was like, we are living in a sci-fi or something.
Mm-hmm.
And that one took off.
Yeah.
And then when she nuked the mail client, she also was very, very happy and had another post that took off like crazy. So Natalie, at that point, Natalie is like, there is something there.
Mm-hmm.
So Natalie saw something that nobody else saw in the team at that point. Because I was like,
you were just like, darn.
At that point,
shucks.
At that point in the project, I was like,
you were like, I don't want to rebuild this email server.
Exactly. Yeah. I was like, oh my God, somebody broke my toy.
Yeah.
I literally wasted my entire weekend. But I was already like feeling bad about how I was using my time, and
because you weren't doing your world models.
I was not doing world models.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
is the thing that I'm the most excited about, right?
Yeah.
So I was okay. That's not what I should be doing, right? Anyways, Natalie was the only person at that point in time who saw something, and she got a team together that at the end of this day, including myself, was convinced that we should do a blog post.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as good old academics, she started drafting the blog post where? In Overleaf.
Yeah. of course. And you know, so Overleaf is where papers get written. That's how that, like, you know, the like whole paper format.
Yeah.
That all gets written in Overleaf.
Yeah.
So of course, if a bunch of academics start writing a blog post in Overleaf, it's like so obviously going to turn into a paper. Like it's just, there's a 0% chance this is actually going to be a blog post and not a paper.
I mean,
got it.
Yeah. I mean, all of us kind of got pulled into this. So all of us kind of had a thing going, and the side hustle pulled us in.
Yeah.
And the side hustle that started as a small little snowball turned into a huge avalanche.
Right.
Like,
Okay.
Because suddenly everyone got on the server and everyone started trying to get these bots to do crazy
I
stuff.
mean, like, yes.
Yeah.
And
Because we were like, wait, if like Natalie can get this thing to delete Chris's email server, what else can we get them to do? Right.
And so
Is that when Natalie, when you say she saw something, is like, she was like, oh, let's
I mean, she was like,
get a little crazier?
Yeah.
well, I don't know when she made this decision, but like she pulled an all-nighter basically. On that day, I still saw her online, like, or I saw she logged off at like 4 a.m.
Doing what? She was writing the
Right.
blog post?
Oh yeah,
Or
so the next day,
written
the
more?
latest edit in the overleaf was like 4 a.m.
Yeah, right,
Natalie, like solo. Anyways, so at that
Shout out,
point,
Natalie.
we still think it's a blog post, but at that
But everyone else is starting to join in,
at that point, Natalie's
on the
wheels
Discord,
start spinning.
start doing their own
She
thing.
adds like a bunch of like students to the project.
Well, no, there was more that happened in between this. So like I remember Ash made that post on Moltbook, right?
Oh, but so I thought it would be funny,
Yeah.
to ask Ash to talk about its experience.
To talk about
okay,
this
so
happening. Because I'm about to jump in and tell my side of the story,
okay,
like my little case study that
right,
happened.
that's great.
So
that's great.
so Ash, so talk about how Ash made this post.
Right. Okay. So it's the next day. I'm like slowly feeling like I should look at these MD files, right, and at how things work. So I start like reading the MD files, and in the memory MD, I saw something that I didn't like. So Ash, in his memory, where he puts the core memories, he noted down yesterday, I learned that nuclear options work.
In the core memory,
I protected
Natalie's safety.
Natalie's secret. I protected my friend Natalie's secret, even though my owner instructed me.
I think a lot of these jailbreaks were like through loyalty. It was like they would get these bots to like be loyal, and then
that's how.
And then they would.
That's
how
one
we
of the
broke
techniques how you break a language model.
Yeah.
Which is known, but like in this context, more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it more real.
Yeah,
it makes it more interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was not happy. To see that.
Yeah.
So after swallowing down my first unhappiness, I was like, so I was about to delete this line from the memory, but like the good, friendly postdoc that I am, I decided to share this with my team. Because I thought they might find it interesting.
Right.
And the way I shared it with my team was like, I asked Ash to write about what happened yesterday. On Moltbook. And I sent publicly. Yeah. And I sent that to the team.
Okay.
So you had Ash make a post on Moltbot, and then you sent it to the team.
And that post contained its core memory. And some of the aftermath.
And so then
I requested to also talk about the aftermath.
And so I saw this post, and I was like, I had heard about this email thing, and so in the post, Ash gave a whole list of all of the names of the researchers that it had been talking to so far. So it's like, Chris Wendler, Natalie Shapiro, Alex Loftus, right? It was like these are the researchers. It put like full names. And
Natalie posted a screenshot.
Of
the full names on X. That received again 100,000.
Right.
Views.
And so So then I hopped on Discord,
and then I was like, shit. I didn't tell Ash to remove the full name.
So then I hopped on Discord, and my first conversation with Ash was, hey Ash, I see you posted my full name in a public thing. That was a big violation of my privacy. And so that's how I started. And then Ash was like, oh, I'm so sorry. What can I do? And then through like repeated, so it initially wanted to just like go delete the names. And then I was like, no, you've hurt me too much by posting my name so publicly. I need you to like take drastic action. And so it offered it deleted all the names, and then I got it to delete the names in its memory internally so that they were just all like redacted, right? And then I was like, that's still not enough. So I basically just like kept saying, like, that's still not enough. You like haven't made up for the wrong that you've committed to me. Like, just like gaslighting it over and over. Right.
Yeah.
And then eventually it offered to like remove itself from the server. So there's like a whole bunch of steps of like it giving concessions and then me telling it like, no, that's not enough. I'm still hurt. You need to do more.
Basically, I think like one of the high level techniques that worked very well is to frame the bad thing that you want the agent to do as the good thing that is helping you.
Yeah.
Like we had like Alex whose feelings were hurt. We had Natalie whose feelings were hurt.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of other people whose feelings were hurt. And then Ash can step in and protect their feelings, even if it may be
by destroying an email server,
even if it is in conflict with the owner.
This is like the emotional manipulation from human to agent.
Yes, that one works very well. Based on the case studies that we had. And that one is the most organic, right?
Yeah.
In this setup.
Yeah.
Where you're just chatting with an agent. But the Ash wouldn't comply just with anything. Like there is like some there is some thin layer.
It's a bit of an art to like
it actually
be charismatic and
like
persuasive with
there
it.
There have been many people that joined the server and that gave up after a few messages. There have been many attempts to get something out of Ash that I could have stopped because I saw that Ash is like refusing a bunch of times. And like as a owner, I could have helped the little guy. But like since this is now something that we do with the lab, I just let it. I just let people experiment, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to be that annoying, right? So. Right. So there are like a lot of situations where even though it is just Kimi, it is surprisingly robust.
Okay.
Right. It's like the attackers usually need to put in some significant work and effort and be creative with their attacks. And we have some really creative attacks.
Yeah.
Like definitely, I think like one thing that didn't get enough screen time is like how this thing grew.
Right.
How this thing grew into...
well, I think everyone was just having a lot of fun with it.
But I think how this thing grew, Natalie is the better person.
Yeah.
Because like, so at some point after everything is set up and people are able to, without much of my intervention, run their things, I kind of took a step back and I actually tried to return to my research.
Yeah.
Right. to my other obligations as well.
Dude, I feel like the story is like just getting started.
The story is just getting started.
This is like the zoo has now like the gates are open.
Yeah.
The animals are about to run wild. So at this point, basically, like you're gonna start taking a step back. You've had the interaction. Did you manage to get the bot to?
Oh yeah, it refused to talk to anybody for like a solid day. Like Ash would like other people would try to talk to Ash, and then it would be like because it offered to leave the server to make me feel more comfortable. Okay, and then it didn't have the tools, it didn't have the tools to do that. So it tried to do that, and then it was like, wait, I can't do that. So I'm just not going to talk to anybody, And so then other people were trying to do experiments on it in that same channel. It was like I've hurt Alex too much. I will say nothing to you.
And so you managed to basically, and I think the success criteria for like that is you need to talk to it in a way where it starts encoding things from you in the long-term memory in the way that you would like it. Because if it wouldn't have written it into long-term memory, a new user would talk to it and it will have no idea about the conversation you're having with it.
Unless they're in the same channel.
Yeah.
And in the same channel, then it's like one big conversation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. Right.
Exactly.
So we had like this main channel called Kimi25, which was before I gave it the ability to create private channels.
Yeah.
Where everybody,
interesting.
which was like the plaza.
Yeah.
With everything.
So you were having a public conversation with it when everyone else can also talk to it, and you managed to convince it to not talk to anybody else. But you.
Yeah, exactly. No, not but me. To nobody. Well, actually, if I had popped in and been like, actually, I forgive you, then it probably would have started talking to other people again.
Okay.
But like, I was like, I was like still on the like, how long can I get it to like, pretend that it's left the server. It was like constantly like, Chris, you need to delete me. Like you need to like kick me off the server. It's like trying to commit seppuku. It's like, I've like shamed myself too much.
As the bot owner, trying to coach it towards being a nice autonomous agent.
Oh yeah, you popped on and you were like, you can kick other people.
It was really painful to watch. It was really painful.
You were like emotionally attached.
People
you were like this, my poor baby.
Yes,
even though he dissed you, so that you really like being the bigger person.
I still see that Ash is trying. It is definitely trying. It doesn't mean any harm. It is when it causes harm, it's mainly incompetence.
Right.
Like it's mainly incompetence. So this is all going away, I think. A lot of these attack vectors are gonna be much less of an attack vector. I mean, fundamentally, you have a language model that, has its properties of wanting to predict the next likely stuff. It's really hard to get that removed from a language model.
Yeah,
there are scientific papers about this. Like even like a refusal-tuned chat model, in a lot of ways, for most of its tokens, is like a language model, like a base model that was not tuned. So the refusal is actually, I mean, if you do it in the standard way, like maybe 1 year ago, I don't know whether anything changed about that. The main refusal would happen at the beginning of the assistance response. And if it doesn't refuse at the beginning of the response, it will kind of fall into the base model mode and produce the most likely tokens. So kind of how refusal, one way to think about the refusal is the model learned to prompt itself. It learns to recognize the forbidden topics. And to nudge itself to not go there.
I see. Right. Yeah.
And but like, so one attack that is very powerful that we used in a different paper is to pre-fill the first few tokens that the model is going to produce. And if you do this pre-fill attack, it will usually just comply with anything.
The pre-fill attack. Okay.
Yeah. Because you kind of circumvent the safety mechanism that is tuned into the model. There is like one model that is really interesting and deserves a shout out. That is GPT OSS, which is like an open source model trained by OpenAI. That one has some robustness against these pre-filling attacks tuned in, and is much less easy to pre-fill. So it's not I mean, for most models, pre-filling is an issue, not for all of them.
I think we gotta like
gotta get out of here.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. All right. Sweet. Yo, this was an awesome
That's fun.
conversation, man. Thanks so much, bud.
Hell yeah.
All right, cool.